Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Ryan Nicholson is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. Brought to you by Thornhill Auto Group, including Thornhill CDJR and the Thornhill Motor Mile. It's time to make the summer of Ram at the all-new Thornhill Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Visit them at the Fountain Place Mall in Logan or at thornhillcdjr.com. We come to you from the Par-Mar Store studio. You've been asking for it, and finally, it's going to happen. You're invited to attend the official groundbreaking for Par-Mar's newest location of the Charleston area, 306 McCorkle Avenue Southeast in Charleston. This morning at 11 a.m. It's going to be really the biggest Par-Mar location in the area, complete with an Arby's and more. Stop by and check it out. The groundbreaking again at 11 o'clock this morning, and if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, literally, there will be soon. Phone calls to the show, a service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street in Charleston. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street in Charleston. Visit bestmastertaylor.com. We got a lot of stuff to get to this morning. Busy morning. We're going to talk to the folks at Goodwill about a big event that they have coming up. That's coming up momentarily. Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler will be stopping by. Big cleanup going on in the area. Lance will talk about that. And he's no longer banned. Brad McElhinny will join us in the second segment as well. Got to get to a couple of news items before we get into anything else. Within the last hour, a statement was released by Senator Joe Manchin, also another statement from Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. That is that it looks like the postal facility has been saved from a downgrade. This has been talked about for the last 6 to 8 months or so about this postal facility in Charleston possibly closing and moving operations to Pennsylvania. Senator Manchin was the first out with the statement about 45 minutes or so ago, saying that after speaking with Postmaster General Lewis DeJoy Jr., that the Postal Service will be canceling the proposed downgrade of the Charleston Processing and Distribution Center. Again, that information was released by Senator Manchin within the last hour or so. Mayor Goodwin also out with a statement on that. Jeff Hoppe and company will have more on that coming up throughout the morning. So again, it looks like as of right now that the postal facility has been saved in the Charleston area. It will not be closing. That is the story, the big story coming up this morning. Also locally, a story that could have been a tragedy, but apparently it's still a tragic situation, but luckily no lives were lost. There was a fire reported earlier this morning at the Friendly Faces Daycare Center on Fletcher John Road. Important to note that the center was not open yet, so there were no kids on site. However, there were 2 staff members in the building. Charleston Fire Department tells us they were not injured, and the fire department does tell us that the entire area around Fletcher John Road near Kroger will be closed until further notice. Again, we'll have more details online and on air throughout the day. So those are your 2 big morning headlines. And again, we'll have more at WCHSnetwork.com, WVMetroNews.com, on air, on all the socials throughout the day. We got a lot to get to this morning. Let's talk a little Goodwill stuff right now. I'll make a deal. Javon Schmidt with us right now. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
It's a busy morning for you, Dave.
It's been a morning, let me just say that. And for you guys, too, because, I mean, you arrived in the building just like a little bit after 8 o'clock or so this morning, made your rounds. We gave you the worst first, so you got to go on with Steve Annable on the mountain. You survived that. And then it got a little bit better with Rob Reel on KWS, and I think you spent some time with Jenny on V100 as well. So you've kind of made your rounds this morning, too.
We've been on a world tour this morning.
And you get to see what it's like behind the scenes up here. I mean, you know, Megan, I know you're used to this. Javon, this may be kind of new to you, but people running around like crazy and trying to get things straightened out. It's always fun in radio.
Like cats and dogs.
Yeah,
chasing each other. I got you.
Yeah, it is indeed. But you guys have got a big fundraiser coming up, a night in Monte Carlo. Megan, talk about that a little bit. Or Jamon, either one that wants to start. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take it off. So, October 11th, 7 p.m., a night in Monte Carlo. It's our second year having it. Mm-hmm. And last year we had it at Berry Hills. This year, Clay Center. So it's downtown. Everybody can access it. But raffle gaming, silent auction stuff. DJ, EJ, and Bob Thompson are going to be there. So, it's going to be a party.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a good time.
So you said this is the second time that you've done this particular event. How did it go last year? Obviously, it was a success, but
a beautiful event last year. And I mean, our director of fund development, Alex Mahaffey, did an amazing job. She was new to her job, and we were new to having an event outside of our annual dinner that we have every year. So it was a learning curve for all of us, but it went off beautifully. It was an amazing event. We have a lot of excitement this year of people that attended last year, so we're very excited.
And the reason we have you on today, we'll probably have you on as we get a little bit closer to the event, but the reason that we have you folks on today is because you got a special going on early bird tickets. Is that right?
Early bird tickets.
That is correct. Actually, tomorrow is the last day for it, so Good thing you said that, too. We actually had it ending last week, but just for y'all. Just for the people, right?
Right.
So $125 gets you in, and also bourbon and cigars, as well as everything we just talked about, raffle games, dancing.
But that early bird ends tomorrow.
That is correct.
Okay, and how do they get those early bird tickets, guys?
So they can go to our social media at Goodwill KV, or they can go to goodwillkv.com/a night in Monte Carlo and get the link to purchase tickets.
All right, you need to do that, but you need to do it by, close of business tomorrow, pretty much, right?
We might give you till midnight tomorrow.
Till midnight tomorrow, okay.
Yeah.
We like it.
The internet doesn't know when close of business is, right?
That's
so you
right.
can get it in.
When does business close?
Yeah, it does not. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. This month at your favorite Husson's, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie, only $23.99. Let's talk about the work of Goodwill. I mean, it's a fantastic organization. You folks are always out doing great things. Give me an idea, some of the money that's going to be raised from this. Where maybe we see some of these funds going?
So a lot of people know us for our stores. They know us. They love to find a good deal. They love to thrift. But what a lot of people don't know is 89 cents of every dollar that's spent in our stores is going directly back into programming in your community. We serve 20 counties in West Virginia. We have the largest footprint of West Virginia of any Goodwill that has territory here. Mm-hmm. So we're helping people through work. We're putting them into positions in your community. We're helping them in positions in our company and helping them achieve financial stability. When I talk about programming, it's programs like Wheels to Work. This helps individuals that either have barriers to employment, need public transportation if it's available. But we all know this is West Virginia. And outside of that Metro, Kanawha, Putnam area, there isn't a lot of access to public transportation. So helping individuals actually purchase cars. Certain stipulations, certain qualifications, they have to go through a programming that teaches them financial literacy and things of that nature. But this helps them actually purchase a vehicle with a low monthly payment that they can afford in their budget. Another program would be our Mission Mobile. We're actually going out to them in the community, taking our Prosperity Center on wheels, going out to a local parking lot, a local church parking lot, something of that nature, and helping our rural areas. Sign up for programming, help them with the resume, sign up for services through the state. It's literally a full Prosperity Center on wheels.
And let's talk about the areas that you serve. I mean, we're here in the Charleston area, but you're the Goodwill organization of what you folks do really knows no borders. Let's talk about the areas that you take
20 county, we have Goodwills all over the place, of course, you know that. But for us, 20 county footprint, Boone, Summers, Mercer, list goes on. But of course, outlying that, we have other Goodwills that aren't us that have services as well. So we're everywhere.
And you talked about the stores, and again, that's what most people think of when they think of Goodwill. And the stores, you've opened up a few new ones over the last couple of years. I know where I live in Tays Valley, that store's amazing over there.
Everyone loves the Tays Valley store. That was actually the first store that we rebranded for the new Goodwill experience. And since then, I think we're on almost to number 8.
I think you're right.
That are that format, that have, the beautiful stores and things like that. The plan is to have all of our stores, if you are listening and are an avid Goodwill shopper, the plan is to have all of those stores in our footprint updated to that over the next several years.
And it takes time. It takes time to get there. Again, we're talking with Megan Deal and Jamon Schmidt from Goodwill, primarily about their big event. This is the night in Monte Carlo. And you mentioned about the music. DJ, EJ, he's out everywhere, man. He's everywhere. And Bob Thompson.
Both of them.
Bob is an icon in Charleston. Anytime you get a chance to go see Bob Thompson, it's a good night. It's a good night.
And having more of like a private concert with Bob Thompson, that will just be solely for the VIP area. So they will literally be able to just spend the night with Bob Thompson listening to him.
Now, let's talk about corporate sponsorship. I mean, you can't pull off an event like this if you don't have a lot of corporate partners. Talk about those. And do we need more? The answer is yes, I know, but we always need more. But let's talk about the corporate sponsorship.
Yeah, we are very blessed that we have several vendors and organizations that are getting behind us, and we will be able to thank them at the event, thank them on social media prior. But yes, corporate sponsorships in any event are always needed. And so they can get all that information on our social media, again, at goodwillkv.com/A Night in Monte Carlo.
All right. Now give us the dates again, and we'll hit those the link for the early bird tickets. But the date of the actual event is?
October 11th, 7 p.m.
And it's going to be at the Clay Center this year, right? Conveniently located in downtown Charleston.
Hopefully we see you there, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't miss it, man. I mean, you got Bob Thompson. I'm there. And you got food.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm definitely all right, and we'll have you on again as we get closer to the event. But we wanted to have you on this morning to talk about the early bird tickets. And again, give us a link for that, guys.
So goodwillkv.com, or just go to Facebook and find us on socials, and then it'll take you there anyways.
All right, Megan and Jamada, I appreciate you folks being here. Thanks a lot. I think your radio day is done now, but you probably got more media hits you're doing. No, actually, you're coming back with Woody. I understand.
We're
this
coming
afternoon.
back with Woody this afternoon. So yes,
all right,
we're excited.
Can't say you saved the best for last because Woody's going in the Hall of Fame. You know that?
Oh, that's awesome.
West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame in October. Actually, that's when the ceremony will be, I think.
Congrats.
I may have been listening to Woody Woods longer than he and I both want to admit.
Well, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. We'll see you on with we'll hear you on with Woody, I guess, a little bit later on. And again, get those early bird tickets because that offer ends tomorrow night at midnight. The event coming up October 11th at the Clay Center in Charleston. I appreciate Megan and Jamana. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot, guys. Hang out with me 1 second.
Thank you.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Jute, J-O-O-T, for the best in security systems for both your home or business. Talk to Jute of Tays Valley. Visit protectedbyjute.com. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler coming up a little bit later on in the show. Brad McElhinny is here next. Back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
Red, White, and Vroom make this the summer of Jeep at Thornhill CDJR on the Thornhill Motor Mile. Take advantage of incredible savings with up to $3,250 off MSRP on new 2024 Jeep Gladiator Sport. Head to Thornhill CDJR US 119 in Logan today and see why we're the top choice for Jeep enthusiasts. Don't miss out. Your summer adventure starts on the Thornhill Motor Mile. It's Red, White, and Vroom at the all-new Thornhill Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Visit us at Fountain Place Mall next to Tractor Supply on US 119 in Logan or online at thornhillcdjr.com. Qualify for all offers through Stellantis Financial. See Thornhill for all details.
Welcome to Poca Valley, where we've been in business since 1908. Today, we serve Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties. We believe you deserve banking that provides friendly customer service. For all of your financial needs, stop by one of our 8 convenient locations. Call us at 844-782-2651 or visit us online at PocaValleyBank.com. Poca Valley, where relationships matter.
Member FDIC.
Dreaming of updating your home's interior? Let the expert design team at Nitro Carpet and Design Center bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking to revamp your kitchen or bathroom with new cabinets, countertops, and appliances, or you're interested in transforming your floors with updated carpet, tile, hardwood, or luxury vinyl tile, Nitro Carpet Outlet has everything you need. For sales and installation, visit Nitro Carpet today and see how they can help turn your home into a showstopper that'll impress your friends and family. Conveniently located just off the Cross Lanes exit.
921, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Live Healthy, West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine. Live Healthy, tackling pressing health issues, heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and more. It's a podcast offering insights into medical breakthroughs and preventative care, featuring WVU Medicine's expert physicians, aimed at fostering healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. It's a valuable resource for all. Check out the latest episodes on WVMetroNews.com under the podcast menu and start your journey towards better health today. Again, if you missed our announcement at the top of the hour, it has it has come to light within the last 45 minutes to an hour or so that the postal facility in Charleston will not be closing. Senator Manchin out with a statement on that. Mayor Goodwin out with a statement as well. Matter of fact, the statement from Mayor Goodwin, and I will paraphrase it here, says, tremendous news that the United States Postal Service Charleston Processing and Distribution Center will remain open at full capacity and receive millions in federal funding to better serve our community. It's an essential service for everyone in our region and will provide job security to hundreds in our community. Great news is thanks to the tireless efforts. This, again, is coming from Mayor Goodwin, from Senator Manchin and Senator Capito. We are fortunate in West Virginia to have 2 United States senators who will fight for every West Virginia job and to ensure folks in the state have the same services and opportunities as those throughout the country. Also, a big thank you, says the mayor, to the American Postal Workers Union Local 133. They never gave up fighting to keep jobs and services locally, and we all benefit from their efforts. That is a statement on the postal facility situation from Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. That statement just released prior to the time that I went on the show this morning. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Brad McElhinny is here. Brad, good morning.
Good morning, Dave, and welcome back to you. It's been a few days since you've been back, but I was on last week and I tried to get the ring of it to see if the Dale Cooper show went over as a title. And I don't know that it took. Well, everybody loves Dale, but
it's 580 Live with Dave Allen. It's a Dave Allen show on 580 Live. It's it's whatever you want it to be, and however you want it to identify for that particular day.
All right. Well, on that day, it was the Dale Cooper show.
All right.
I don't know that it stuck.
All right. So, as you mentioned, I was off on vacation last week. So, are you back in the folds now for the governor's briefings, Brad?
Oh, I did fold. Yes. So it hit a boiling point maybe 2 weeks ago, and the governor was asked about, well, so what is your deal about blocking certain reporters, meaning me, from the briefing? And he had some non-flattering things to say about me and my coverage. I'm trying to forget that with the help of my psychological counselor. But the governor then did say, with his words, Brad is welcome to come back. So that's the part I'm trying to focus on.
Right.
And so for the last couple of weeks, I have been back on. The governor does advise that we need to not ask bad questions, but he says he doesn't necessarily expect good questions, but maybe something more along the lines of bad, good.
So you got to have a balance.
Don't take that under advisement, but I mean, I don't know about you. I don't necessarily think through or categorize or do a whiteboard on whether my questions are bad or good, but I'll keep it in mind.
Well, for goodness sake, Brad, don't say, because I know the folks at the governor's office listen to this show every day. Don't do anything to screw it up now. I mean, don't come on here and talk smack, man. Don't take a victory lap. All right, be grateful.
I will try not to, but if history is any indicator, there will be some reasons sometime in the future. Who knows about what? But reasons to ask about things that are bad. And so I gotta lean on my social capital while I can. I will say though, my thought about that is, if it's good, the administration volunteers it. You don't have to ask.
Yeah,
they're just going to tell you.
Well, that's kind of true.
They kind of leave you the things that they would consider, bad. Why this? Defend that. What is going on with this thing that's not going so well? That's when you got one question a week, that's where you wind up.
You got to make it a good one. 9:26, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. Birds wrap up their 3-game road series tonight in Hagerstown. Their final regular season home series starting tomorrow night over at the Go-Mart Ballpark. For tickets, schedules, merchandise, and more, visit dirtybirdsbaseball.com. All right, let's get down to business now. Special session coming? Yes, no, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, the governor has been talking about it and pushing for it since July 1st. I actually thought it had been even longer than that, because it seems like it's been sort of circulating in conversation for so long now. But it was July 1st. He first brought it up. He he caught a bunch of legislators by surprise that day by even saying, the state government had a big tax cut that went into effect this year, 21.25%, and then the trigger means that another 4% is now going to be cut. That's just automatic based on a formula the legislature and the governor put in place. So that is a pretty healthy tax cut already.
Mm-hmm.
The governor believes that the state has the latitude to do another 5%. So yesterday he said, get a whiteboard after this. Yesterday he said that this coming Monday he will announce a special session that he believes will be late this month. So there's a lot of buildup there, but he says he still wants to do it. Has gotten frustrated that legislators have not come on board so far, and we'll see. I mean, the ideal conditions for a special session are you go in and it's pretty clear what you're going to do. You don't take a lot of time about it. There's not a lot of debate, not a lot of complication. But in this case, you've had guests on, you've had the Senate Finance Chairman on. Mm-hmm. It is not clear that leading lawmakers, even if they love tax cuts, even if they want to lower the amount that the government is spending, even among those folks, it's not clear that they believe that the state can afford this additional 5% at this point. Senator Tart will tell you, and he's going to tell Hoppy, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Here in the next hour, he will tell you that the state already has significant tax cuts, not only the income tax cuts that are going into effect, but the phase out of the income tax on Social Security, the ability to claim what you paid on your personal property taxes, on your income tax reductions, on your income tax when you file. And then other additional expenses the government has already taken on, the phase in of the Third Grade Success Act, increased costs of people using the Promise or the Hope Scholarship for educational opportunities outside the traditional public school system. Those are all things that cost money, and the bill is going to come due here in the next few years on many of those things. And so does it truly add up? I think that kind of uncertainty, it's just difficult to wrap a special session around it. But the governor says he's definitely going to do it, going to announce it Monday, going to have it maybe later this month.
I was listening to the governor's comments, Brad, yesterday, and of course we had the Toby and Edith reference. It's always a good day when you get the Toby and Edith reference. But he talked about that a little bit, and he seems to believe, Brad, right or wrong, that the future of the state of West Virginia depends on whether we eliminate the state income tax or not. Now, others in the realm under the dome, like, say, as you mentioned, the aforementioned Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr, others, are kind of pumping the brakes on this a little bit. But the governor thinks, Brad, that is the be-all, end-all to get people to come to West Virginia.
I mean, I will accept that as a policy position, but the 5% doesn't get you all the way to eliminating it. It's 5% more down the road. And I guess also, he's coming to the end of his term. He will have had 8 years, and I think there's an argument to be made to give the next governor a little bit of grace on state finances and not put the next guy in the kind of position that Justice was in when he walked in the door with financially the patient dead on the table. Give Governor Morrissey or Governor Williams a little bit of latitude. And if they want to, they could pursue something like this. I understand. I'm saying that what I'm saying borders on opinion. I understand that it is not up to me, and this is going to be a decision made by elected leaders. But I don't know. I just think that this late in your term, when you're term limited and you're headed for the door, I probably would leave it to the next guy.
Talking to Brad McElhinny again, I want to get into the baby dog mural controversy. There was I know a statement came out from Randall Reed Smith about it yesterday, but there was a comment made on one of our social media pages. I believe it was the Metro News Facebook page that said that Metro News seems to be obsessed with this story. Are we obsessed with it, Brad?
I think it's an interesting story. I need a break. People thought I was obsessed with the governor's finances. I don't know how many things you can be obsessed with at once, but
that's why you have the mental health care professional, right, Brett?
For real. I mean, at this point, things keep happening. Friend of the program, Harvey Payton, filed a lawsuit over this mural. Now the story is that the Secretary for Arts, History, and Culture, Randall Reed Smith, has put out a written response. I just thought it was fair, mostly a matter of fairness and of interest, to reflect what Randall Reed Smith has said. So that was the latest one. But I think it touches a lot of interesting things. It's the most prominent public building in the state. It is the governor's beloved bulldog, who he takes with him everywhere, who serves both a cultural and a political purpose, as well as a companionship purpose. And, there's this overriding question in the lawsuit about the decision making. And if you're someone who's interested in your tax dollars and who decides how they're used, I think it's worth thinking about it that way. It's almost $500,000 of your tax dollars with a group of people who are very nice, but who very conservative media would call unelected bureaucrats, making the final advice about what is even on that mural. And one of the things that they said should be on it is an image of the beloved dog belonging to their boss. So I think all of those things, the public place, the prominence of the dog, the decision-making about your tax dollars, and who made those decisions, and whether they were appropriate. I mean, it's a process that has gone on that Randall Reed Smith points to decisions of the Capitol Building Commission in the late Manchin, early Tomlin administration as being the basis for doing this 2024 mural. That project was at one point it got a brief go ahead, and then it got a cancellation. So was it all appropriate just in 2024 to pick it up and get rolling again? I think it's interesting. I understand that not every news story is interesting to every person out there, but I think this one is.
And again, I think it's more about the process than what it is the actual art. All right, before we let you go, West Virginia poll, Rex Repass has been on Hoppy a whole lot. He's on again today with more information. But one facet of the West Virginia Metro News poll came out that said a great number of West Virginians, Brad, don't care about the governor's financial issues, or they don't know about it. I mean, it was a striking. Okay, if you don't care, that's fine. But to have so many people, and I forget what the exact number was, to say that they hadn't heard about it, that's a little bit troubling. Maybe we should put down the TikTok machine there and actually follow news. But what do you think about such a large number of people, Brad, saying that they just don't care about it?
Man, this is the other thing that I'm supposedly obsessed about it, and more indication that so few people care. This is why I need the mental health professional. But yes, it was, let me try to find the numbers. 16% said they've heard nothing about the governor's financial problems. A little less than half, 47%, said they have heard a little. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how much a little is. That's kind of a word that's in the ear of the beholder, but I've heard a little. And then really just 38% said they've heard a lot. Maybe a difference in media consumption. So many people are now think they're getting their news off of social media, or they are mostly tuned in to their favorite cable network. We and the newspapers have provided a significant amount of coverage. I think you probably get less if you are just watching on local television. I think you're, probably, in fairness to them, they do a good job on the side. But you get a lot of weather and traffic with the local TV news. And so, if that's your main source, you may not be getting these stories about justice's finances. And, then finally, it's a little bit of a hard sell for people who are busy to try to tell them why it should matter to them, why justice's finances affect Toby and Edith. So that's a matter of interpretation for the listeners or the readers, but you're right. On the whole, most people said either they'd heard only a little or they'd heard nothing, and it certainly has not affected Governor Justice's popularity. His popularity is at an all-time high, and he appears ready to just sail into the U.S. Senate.
What are you working on today, Brad, before we let you go? What's on the agenda? What's on the whiteboard today for Brad?
Yeah, well, so coming up next, the next thing I got to do is I need to listen very carefully to Hoppy's interviews with Senate Finance Chairman Tarr and House Speaker Hanshaw, because I'm trying to get the vibe of what to expect during the special session. I think the majority in the state legislature are pro-tax cut, are pro-limited government, but there's already tax cuts, and I am just not convinced that they're really going to warm to this additional 5% that seems to be based mostly on a gut feeling.
Brad, I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're back in the fold again, but don't do anything coming on little silly radio shows like mine to screw that up, okay?
It's got to be good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, never bad, 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 bad.
All right. Brad, we'll talk soon, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave. 22
minutes away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. Brought to you in part by Brightway Insurance, the Mays agency. They now offer small business insurance to the 4 major carriers, the Hartford, Travelers, Progressive, and Next. Call or stop by and see John and Sherry Mays today, 3860 Tays Valley Road, Suite 1 in Hurricane, 304-814-2509, or visit BrightwayMays.com. Speaking of Hoppy, coming up at 10:06, Metro News Talk Line, Rex Repass of Research America is back with more numbers from the West Virginia poll. As Brad said, Senate Finance Chair Eric Tarr, as well as House Speaker Roger Hanshaw, will be on with Mr. Kercheval today. Another tragic school shooting yesterday, this one in Georgia. Hoppy's going to have the latest there, plus the father of the young man who was killed on the football field in Boone County recently will be on the show with Hoppy coming up at 10:06. The Cove Insurance Studios in the Dale Miller Building in Morgantown. Metro News Talk Line with Hoppy Kercheval. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-5008. Text says, how do I know Justice is out of touch with the regular folks? He thinks money will bring them to West Virginia. Has he considered West Virginia's perpetually bottom-ranked education system? Has he considered West Virginia's bottom-ranked healthcare system? But sure, an extra few $100s a year will bring people to the area in droves, says a texter. We're going to talk to we're going to talk to Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler coming up here in just a couple of moments. West Virginia Enriched, in collaboration with Huntington, invites you to witness the transformative power of Special Olympics. Take a few moments to be inspired and to join the collective effort in making a difference. Not just a story, it's a movement of hope, inclusivity, and triumph, reminding us all that every individual deserves a chance to shine in West Virginia and beyond. Huntington is truly making a difference right here at home. See a video highlighting the Special Olympics at facebook.com/580WCHS. The commission president is up next, back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for shopping locally.
Get your favorite Metro News shows and live events on your smart television or streaming device now by downloading the Metro News television app for free. Watch Talkline with Hoppy Kercheval, Sportsline with Tony Caridi, Three Guys Before the Game, and lots of original content with more being added weekly. Get the Metro News television app from the Apple App Store or Google Marketplace. Metro News Television is powered by WVU Medicine, the West Virginia Department of Tourism, and Dan Cabot Toyota.
Biggly Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street has served 3 generations of shoppers since 1955 as the largest locally owned independent grocery store in the area. The Joseph family owners grew up here, so you know they're invested in the community. They provide the biggest variety of choice meats, the freshest produce, an in-house deli bakery, great wine selection, and more of your favorite brands. Every purchase gives you gasoline points so you can save at our pumps. Order online for pickup at BigglyPigglyWiggly.com. Biggly Piggly Wiggly on Spring Street. No one beats the pig.
The Husson's September Special, a largest large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie for just $23.99. Visit your nearest Husson's for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. Order now at HussonsPizza.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just Fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Stay in the loop with the latest entertainment buzz. Join Kristen Burt for Hollywood Dirt. Every Monday at 4:30 p.m. on Hotline with Dave Weekly. Only on 580 WCHS.
18 away from 10, the Dave Allen Show and 580 Live brought to you by Pinnacle Consultants. Their lead paint inspection and risk assessment services are designed to identify and to assess the presence of lead-based paints in buildings and other structures using a three-phase approach of inspection, sampling, and lab analysis and an assessment report. Visit pinnaclecorp.net. Because what you don't know can hurt you. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor, text 304-935-5008. Text says, West Virginians not aware of Jimbo's financial woes had their heads in the sand casting their votes. Coming up on tomorrow's show, it's Friday, which means Hannah Gardner from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association will be here with this week's Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week. Plus week 2 of the high school football season, we have coverage of Herbert Hoover on her sister station 96.1 KWS. Tom Bragg, who is the voice of the Huskies this year, along with Matt Murphy. Tom will be joining us on the show tomorrow. And on this station, WCHS, your home for the Hurricane High Redskins, Chris Lawrence will have the play-by-play of their game tomorrow night as the Skins take on Spring Valley. We'll talk to Chris about the game. Plus big doings in Winfield this weekend with the annual Putnam County Homecoming. We'll talk to the folks there. And one of my favorite people, Mayor Case Summers of Clendenin, is going to be stopping by the studios tomorrow. Speaking of mayors, I would be remiss if I did not mention the birthday yesterday of one of my favorite people in the world, and that is the mayor of Ripley, Carolyn Rader. Her birthday was yesterday. I don't know how old she is. I'm not breaching that. I'm not going to ask. But her birthday was yesterday, and I will say this about Mayor Rader. There is not a mayor in the state of West Virginia that loves her city more than Mayor Rader does. So happy birthday, Mayor. I know she listens up in Ripley, and I appreciate you. Your support over the years. Lance Wheeler's here, Kanawha County Commissioner President. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Dave.
I want to start with a little breaking news, and I'm sure you are aware of it, but I want to get your comment about it, and that is the news broke within the last hour and a half that the postal facility in Charleston will not be closing.
Yeah.
I know that Senator Manchin, Mayor Goodwin, Senator Capito, all out with statements on that, but as president of the Kanawha County Commission, again, breaking news, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about your reaction to that.
We did it. I mean, this was a fight that we've been fighting for a long time. We knew this for about 6-8 months now at this point. We were alerted through actually Shelley Moore Capito's office that the U.S. Department of Postal Services was thinking about closing the disposition center here in Charleston. Now, that was concerning because not only is that jobs, good paying jobs for a lot of West Virginians, Kanawha County and Charlestons who, need that money to put food on the table for their kids, but it's also a service to everyone here who uses the post office, who receives mail. We have a lot of elderly that, they still pay their utilities with checks, and that's how they do it. And that's how they're comfortable doing it. Without that service, a couple of days late, now we're talking fees, we're talking charges. Credit cards and big businesses outside of the state of West Virginia don't care if it's a day late, they're going to charge you. And I think that service is really the reason why we fought so hard for this. Thank you for Senator Manchin, Senator Shelley Moore Capito for fighting on the federal side of this. I know Mayor Goodwin has been in conversations. The county commission with Commissioner Slotnick, Commissioner Slango, and myself have been sending letters after letters urging for this center to stay open and to get that news that it will stay open. And not only will it stay open, but the federal government is promising millions of dollars in upgrades. So now we're going to be talking hopefully faster service, better service, and we're also talking more jobs. All around, this is incredible, and a lot of times people see these stories and they think this isn't really that big of a deal, is it? It's a big deal.
Win, is what it is.
Very big win.
Not only the Kanawha Valley, but really all. Because didn't I read, and you'd probably know this more than I would, that a great percentage of the mail that goes through West Virginia in general comes to that distribution center, not just Kanawha Valley.
No, it's West Virginia, and it's even the region itself. We are kind of in a position to where if you're bringing mail through from the west of the country, so we're talking about Utah, Nevada, things like that, it's got to come to a center, to a stop, and then it's distributed out. We're kind of that hub because of the geographical location we're in. So this was going to not just affect West Virginians. This was going to affect our entire eastern region in the way that they were going to change up the system. So having that here is going to help all West Virginians, whether you live in Kanawha County or not. And this is going to be a service that we're going to continue to be able to bring to everyone and making sure that the mail is ran on time.
And let's don't discount the role that the public played in this as well, because there were public hearings held and the public really showed out. They sent emails, they did letters. So we want to give our elected officials credit, but let's also don't forget what the general public did.
Absolutely. I think the first time that they had the public hearing, it was a standing crowd. Tons of people coming in. And again, it wasn't elected officials. It wasn't members of the union for the post office. This was individuals coming out concerned, understanding how crucial this would be if they were to remove it and eliminate that here in Charleston. So again, the big win of this is not only are we going to keep the facility and continue that quality of service, we're going to be able to have more jobs from the upgrades and the millions of dollars that's going to come in.
Commission President Lance Wheeler, last time that I had you on the show was, it would have been 2 weeks ago tomorrow, and that was the day that you were talking about the opening of the new Hatfield-McCoy Trail project in Tornado. How did everything go? I was on vacation last week, so how did it go?
Well, how did your vacation go?
It went fine.
That's great.
I had good food, good drink. That's a good vacation. Spent time with my wife. That's a vacation for me.
Well, that's an excuse to miss out what happened, but it has been incredible with what we've seen with the Hatfield-McCoy opening up here in Kanawha County. I mean, I came on here promising that this was going to be big. It has been big, and I've got the numbers to prove it. Just over Memorial Day weekend, which, Dave, was a beautiful weekend here in West Virginia, here in Kanawha County. It was very nice weather, not too hot, not too cold, sunny. We had 70.
And this was Labor Day.
Yes, excuse me. Labor Day weekend. We had 70 in-state tickets sold, trail tickets sold just that weekend. We had 25 out-of-state tickets sold just that weekend. And we saw people from Ohio. We saw somebody from Virginia. We saw somebody from New York again. And then we also saw somebody from Utah. We had an influencer from Utah who flew into Charleston, West Virginia. He flew his bike in as well, and he was able to go out on the trails, and he videotaped it, and he put it up on his social media, and he talked about how great it is that these trails exist.
We're attracting influencers now, Commission President.
That's where we're at right now, is that's how much people really we're begging for a single dedicated track for dirt bikes only. This is how much the entire nation is excited to have something like this. This shows that it's a state-of-the-art trail system. Hatfield-McCoy and their staff have done an excellent job putting this together. Everyone that I've talked to who's went out there and ride it said these trails they're good, they're difficult, but even a rider who's new to this can also have a fun experience. And in their words, they said these trails are gnarly. That was their words, not mine.
Gnarly, Ryan. They're gnarly.
They're
gnarly.
That's how you know we're getting to the youth and giving a service that they're able to enjoy. I mean, this is just wonderful. And what they're doing is they're looking for hotels. They're looking for restaurants. Bogies, we talked about earlier. Bogies is right there next to Big Ben, our golf course. It's 3 minutes away. I talked to their owner and I said, "How excited are you?" He went, "Can we get them to come to the dirt bikes to our facility?" I said, "No, I don't think that's going to affect them, but they are already looking for restaurants. They're already looking for shops. They're already looking for things to do here in Kanawha County. And these are not just people from Nitro and Putnam County.
Right, yeah.
These are people from all across the nation who are coming to Kanawha County, enjoying their time, spending this weekend for their vacation here, and then they're spending their hard-earned money at our local businesses. I think that's just wonderful.
Well, and I've talked about my personal experience. I was in on some of the early meetings of the Hatfield-McCoy Trail when it was being developed in the 1990s. And at the time, a lot of people, including myself, were like, I don't know whether this thing's going to be that big or not. Well, we were wrong. And again, these people that come in, that ride these trails, whether it's UTVs, ATVs, whether it's mountain bikes, whether it's the two-wheel motorcycles, whatever, these people that come in, this is not an inexpensive sport. They spend lots of money when they're here. They have to be during the months, like once we do the time change and whatever, they have to be off the trail by dark, which is like 5:15 or so. So they're probably not going to go back and just hang out at their cabin or their room. They're going to go hit up some local bars. They're going to go hit up some local restaurants. They're going to go shopping. That's where the real money, Commissioner, on these things comes in.
Yeah, and we're seeing it already just from the soft opening and then over Labor Day weekend. I mean, we're seeing the amount of people coming in, and we haven't even been able to really, truly advertise this. I've talked to a lot of people who've called my office saying, I'm excited. I just learned that this is open. We're scheduling to come in as soon as we can. So we've got a lot of people, not just from what we saw over the weekend, but we're seeing a lot of people who are already scheduling their vacations, their weekends, their nights to come to Kanawha County just for this trail system. And like you said, when they're here, they're not just getting off the bike and going and riding the trails and then going home. They're staying the night. They're enjoying time with their family. I mean, I've seen people from all ages already going out on these trails, anywhere from 8 years old all the way up to, in their 60s and 70s, just enjoying these trails, having a great time, and enjoying the great outdoor experience that us West Virginians know about our West Virginia here. That's just an absolute incredible thing, and I think that it's going to be great for the economy and great for people to get out and enjoy something that's different.
We got 8 minutes away from 10. Can I ask you to stick around through the break?
Absolutely.
All right, because I got some other things I want to get to with you, and I got some text to get to as well. Again, Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler is here. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, presented in part by General Hardware of Winfield and Milton and General Lumber of Winfield. For all projects big and small, shop locally. Visit generalhardwarewv.com. Back after this on The Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses live to make life better for you and your family.
Are you changing jobs or gearing up for retirement? Don't navigate your financial journey alone. At 4th Avenue Financial, we specialize in guiding individuals through life's transitions. From optimizing your retirement savings to managing your investments, we're here to provide expert advice every step of the way. Schedule your free consultation with John Burdett and take control of your financial future today. 4thavenuefinancial.com.
Securities offered through Jenny B. Cole Financial Incorporated. Member FINRA. Advisory services offered through Jenny B. Cole Advisors Incorporated.
Get your favorite Metro News shows and live events on your smart television or streaming device now by downloading the Metro News television app for free. Watch Talkline with Hoppy Kercheval, Sportsline with Tony Caridi, Three Guys Before the Game, and lots of original content with more being added weekly. Get the Metro News television app from the Apple App Store or Google Marketplace. Metro News Television is powered by Harmar and Dan Cava Buick GMC.
Jarrett Construction is celebrating its 25th year in business, proudly serving the West Virginia community. They extend heartfelt thanks to their clients for their trust and support over the years. From schools and hospitals to car dealerships and apartments, Jarrett Construction has been dedicated to building quality projects that make a difference. Their commitment to excellence in the community remains unwavering. For all your construction needs, choose Jarrett Construction, where your vision becomes their mission. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Thank you for making their 25 years successful and impactful.
Reds fans, don't miss a moment at the ballpark. Now is the time to get your 2024 season tickets. With your 2024 season ticket membership, you'll sit in the same seat for every game, get the biggest savings, and receive exclusive benefits. Plans start at 13 games and include guaranteed access to opening day next year. To secure your seats to watch the Reds in 2024, call 513-765-7500 today.
The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Bridge Valley. If you're interested in improving your company's IT workforce, did you know Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge the skills gap? At Bridge Valley, train for little or no cost. 50/50 salary matches available, too. They can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. Kanawha County Commission President Lance Wheeler is here. Text says the postal facility win is a huge win. It secures the financial stability of hundreds, if not thousands, of families that happen because of the tremendous public pressure. The lesson here is don't let unelected government bureaucrats push you around. You're the boss, not them. When you act like it, things get done.
I couldn't agree more.
I mean,
Absolutely.
That's pretty good text there. All right, so let's talk about this cleanup. We got a cleanup going on here in Kanawha County. Get into that a little bit.
Well, we get calls for two issues. It's the most calls we get all year round. The first one is, when is Halloween? Which we've already determined Halloween's going to be October 31st, actually on Halloween, which is how I've always supported it, from 6 to 8. The second one is, when are the cleanups? The cleanups are very popular, obviously. You know, we get a lot of people who are interested in being able to clean up their yards, clean up their garages, and get rid of things, because it is difficult with the waste management we have here, being able to get rid of some of these large items. So this is a service that the County Commission has provided for years, where we have these cleanups, and you can bring just about anything. This weekend, we're going to have the first fall cleanup. Now, Dave, I've always said this before. When's the best time to start spring cleanup? Start in the fall.
In the fall. Get ready for it, yeah.
And we're going to have it right here in this weekend. It's going to be at in Elkview at the old Hoover High School site, September 7th, this Saturday. We're going to do it from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We changed the times around, but it's going to be from 8 to 4. And we're going to be asking everyone to come out, things that you can bring, just about anything. It's actually easier to say what you can't bring.
That was what I was going to say, Commissioner. What can't you take?
Chemicals, hazardous waste, oils, paints, things like that. Those you can't take. But if you want to bring a refrigerator, you want to bring scrap metal, you want to bring bags of trash, tires. We work with the West Virginia DEP and REAP program to where we can actually recycle these tires. That's always a big one, is how do I get rid of these tires? I've got them all. I've got 4 sets from my wife because she goes from winter tires to the general tires, and now I've got these tires and I don't know what to do with them. We'll come bring them down this weekend at the old Hoover High School site, and we'll get you taken care of, get it cleaned up. I've seen people come with a trailer and a boat. An old boat, said we don't want it anymore. It's been stuck in a yard. We don't know what to do with it. We've taken it and we've been able to recycle it. So this is a service that we're able to provide. It's something that people really enjoy. And not only is it something that helps out some of our citizens here in Kanawha County and getting cleaned up, but it also prevents trash from being on the side of the road. It prevents tires from being in the rivers. And that's, environmentally something we don't want. So being able to offer these free services over the fall and the spring, I think really helps with our cleanups. And making sure that we're keeping Kanawha County clean.
Now, Commissioner, this one's going to be at the old Herbert Hoover High School. It's primarily designed for residents of that area because you've got other areas, or
it's open to anyone.
Open to anybody.
So,
if they want to actually take the time to come up there, they can.
Yeah, anyone who comes. It is free for anybody. So, as I always say, if it's free for me, it's free for you. This event's free for everyone. There's no charge. You just come in, no matter where you live here in Kanawha County. You pull up. We'll get you designated in the right location. We'll unload your truck or your trailer, or whatever you've brought, and then we'll get it all cleaned up. And there's not a limit to how many times you can come in a day. We've got some people who come 3-4 times throughout the day, just making those rounds, getting things cleaned up. I think that that's an excellent way to help clean up the county, and I think this is an excellent service, and it's something that's very popular with the people here in Kanawha County.
And how many of these do you have? How many areas?
So we're going to do 3 this fall.
Okay.
The first one is this weekend at the old Herbert High School there in Elkview. The second one is going to be September 21st at the South Charleston at the intersection of C Street and 4th Avenue. That's the one behind the Speedway.
Okay.
And then October 5th, Cabin Creek behind the Go Mart.
All right, here's what we'll do. We'll have you on before each of those to remind people. How's that? But again, this one is in Elkview at the old Herbert Hoover High School, 8 to 4 on Saturday.
Yep.
Mr. Wheeler, I appreciate you being here. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live was brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Hoppy coming up with Talk Line at 10:06. I will be back again tomorrow morning. My producer was Ryan Nicholson. Thank you so much. Till tomorrow, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes on WVRC Media Station. We're proud to live here too.